Hello. Well, we are now in chapter 13 of Judges. 13, 14, and 15 is today's reading, and it is the story of Samson, and we know this very, very well. The birth of Samson has a lot of parallels to other births, Samuel and even Elizabeth and John the Baptist, because his mother was barren. And an angel comes to visit her and tells her she's going to have a son. He tells her the rules. She can't drink any wine. She can't eat anything unclean. She needs to raise him as a Nazirite. So no knife he's never going to have his hair cut. He's not going to drink any wine. And so that angel comes a couple of times because her husband wants to see it for himself. And so at the end of the chapter, it says, the woman gave birth to a boy and named him Samson. He grew, and the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to stir in him while he was at Mahanadan. One more time, the Lord's going to put his Spirit, his Ruach, inside someone to do what he wants. This one's a little bit odd because Samson's not the normal kind of judge. He is been provided to the Israelites for this one purpose. At this time, they're also being managed by the Philistines. They've done evil in the sight of the Lord one more time, and so it's been quite a few years. I think the scripture said 40 years that they had been under their rule. So anyway, we get to the next chapter, chapter 14, excuse me, I'm looking at my book wrong. Chapter 14, we see that Samson wants to get married, and he has found him a Philistine wife. His parents say, why can't you take a good Jewish girl or Israelite girl? And he says, no, I want her. So he goes down. On the way down to see her is when he is attacked by a young lion. He kills the lion and goes on. He goes back for the wedding. And on the way down, he looks for the lion. Mom and Dad are walking on ahead. He looks for the lion, and he sees that there's honey in the mouth of the lion, in the carcass of the lion. And then he goes on. At the feast, he gives his famous riddle, and then he says, I'm going to get 7 changes of clothes. If you can't figure it out, I'll give you 7 changes of clothes. If you do, the people get very mad because they don't want to lose to this Israelite guy. And so they threaten Samson's wife. Samson's wife begs Samson, and he tells her the riddle. And then he goes and to avenge that, he kills 7 people and pays off his debt with the spoils. Then he goes on and he leaves. He gets mad, leaves. Samson's wife's dad gives her to another man. Samson comes back, creates a whole nother situation. We know about Samson burning all the fields, and that makes everybody mad. They're coming out to get Samson. He's gone off into a cave. The Israelites provide him, come down and say, we're going to give you over to them. And he says, okay, just don't kill me. He says, fine. They put ropes on him. And the Lord comes on him in strength. When he does, he breaks the cords and he defeats the Philistines. It's a very interesting thing as you go through this, because what you see is this constant escalation of vengeance. You do something to me, I do something more to you. You do something to me, I do something more to you. Vengeance, vengeance, vengeance. Do you remember seeing this before? Do you remember back in Genesis, one of the grandchildren or great-grandchildren or so of Cain, and that is Lamech. And he says, if Cain is avenged 7 times, Lamech will be avenged 77 times. This idea keeps on going. We do the same thing today. It's hard for us to just let these things go. So anyway, that gets us through chapter 15. And when we get to chapter 16, we run into another name that we know very well, and that's Samson and Delilah. Hope you enjoy the reading, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. God bless you.